Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this live stream. I hope everybody is really doing well. And well, yesterday was I did not do live stream. Why? Because first of all, the plan was pretty much same. I mean, I was just waiting for the wave 4 to come actually, and that's exactly where I will give you the limits. We have already discussed every damn thing on over the for this was the plan. I already drew the plan, and I already mentioned that this is a triangle and we're going to break above these levels of 21, break above this triangle and go towards the levels of 21,500, maybe even 21,700 as well. And from there we can start expecting some reversals and retest of the levels of 20,000 or maybe even 19,900 to fill the whole CME gap. But one more thing which came into my mind is I was just going through the historical CME gap analysis as to what we have or what I have found so far is normally in the bear market, when we are still in the bear market, I cannot say for sure that the bottom is in, the overall bottom is in. I cannot say that for now. But what I can say is that in the bear market, what we have seen so far is whenever the price, we have a CME gap, whenever the price starts moving towards the CME gap, it fills the CME gap. Okay, it is going to bounce. It bounces, but it does not make higher highs. Instead, what it does is it make lower highs and it start literally retracing the whole move that has created this whole CME gap. So practically, this is what my this is the observation I have so far with respect to the CME gap. You look at this gap, actually this is the gap we have now. If you talk about the price action for BTC, guys, the price action for BTC is very much what we have discussed so far. There's no change, but now we also need to address a very important thing, and that is something I just want to tell you is that we do have a bear market, a bear scenario for this whole move up. So we have been discussing just a bull scenario everywhere. Now I have a bear scenario where it's very important for us to keep that in mind. So with that scenario, let's move on for the BTC. Practically, this is what we have for BTC, and I do think that the overall move up is still not, to me it looks to me like some sort of A, B and C irregular flat, and from there it goes down like this. Now a very bullish case for BTC is, so that's a scenario that we are having right now, and that's our primary scenario for now. But there is a bear case where literally we don't go that far towards 24,000. It can just simply go towards $23,000 and literally start reversing. So what is that scenario, guys? Well, that scenario is nothing but a very interesting ending diagonal. Now if we do talk about an ending diagonal has 3-3-3-3 structure, meaning it has 5 waves, but all the waves has 3-3-3 structure. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, and then you have 1 2 3, a full and final diagonal that people will be very bullish above $23,000. And of course they have to be bullish. Actually, you need to change your biasness. If you literally start flipping the levels 23,300, I think your biasness should be bullish, and we should be holding those levels for for more and more upside towards $28,000. But I am failed to seeing that this is going to hold. So practically you have the bear case scenario as well. And the bear case scenario is nothing but an ending diagonal. So that is why you have ending diagonal. You have 1, you have 2, 3, 4. So this is what you got. So practically this move is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. That's where the ending diagonal pretty much validates the whole idea of being that the dollar index is going to have that one more push down, and from there the overall market is going to reverse, and practically SPX is also going to top out around 4,047 to 4,060. and we dump towards the new lows where dollar index don't make higher highs, it makes lower highs, and the overall market makes lower lows, give us a very strong bull diversion across the board, and that would be the most and the perfect entries for every damn thing. And from there, there is no going to be reversals. It's just going to be simply like this, and it's going to be very big, 1 2 3 4 5. So that is going to be the biggest 5 waves I see once you get this kind of a diagonal. So that is the bear case scenario we have. That is the only bear case scenario we have, apart from the irregular expanded flat. Even the irregular expanded flat goes with an ending diagonal. So the irregular expanded flat can go for an extended flat, meaning it can go towards close to 1618, that is around $27,000. So it can go towards those levels and then make new lows. So that is also very likely, and hence I think an ending diagonal is the only perfect bear case scenario that we have left right now with us. Overall, the funding is neutral across the board. You don't have negative funding now, you don't have exceptionally high positive funding, but you have lot of liquidity residing still above towards $23,000. Why? Because you have a lot of people would be shorting as an these levels, as they think that this is some sort of a swing failure pattern. We just need to go and retest some levels of 19,600 or so. But trust me, what I personally feel is there is a likelihood that we just finish the whole move towards 23,000 from here itself, or maybe even a small retest 20,100 and push it back up towards $23,000, and that's how it finishes the whole structure of 20 1 2 3 4 5. Now this is the bear case scenario that you have, as I mentioned, the ending diagonal. So something you should be keeping in mind for the ending diagonal. Remember, if we do get an ending diagonal, it's buy the dip for everything, because it's very, very bullish. I mean, the bullish means it's not like some sort of a small bullish case. No, it's a very bull case, which means that very high probability that the bottom for BTC would be in if this ending diagonal plays out for the bear market of 2022. And practically, this is the levels where you should be going 100% in the market. And this ending diagonal also goes in line with the USD dominance that we have for the ascending triangle, and this ascending triangle makes more and more sense with respect to the ending diagonal for BTC that we have here. So what it means is that the USD dominance breaks out from here, have a fake out, goes towards 10.5, maybe even 10.89%, and not necessarily that it should go exactly to the levels of 1.38 Fibonacci levels, no, but any sort of a deviation and trap everyone. Every bears are going to get trapped. Every bulls who are holding their guns so far will be capitulated, and they would be out of the market. The market makers are going to fill their bags at a discount price from you guys, and what they're going to do is it's just going to z pump everything. It's just going to have 5 waves down, and just going to do something like this. Practically, we have seen in the past that it happens, so you don't need to be surprised if it just literally plays out. So for now, this plan perfectly fits. I mean, if you do get an ending diagonal. Also, one more interesting thing that we should all not be forgetting is the total to bear cipher. Not exactly is the cipher or this, not exactly the cipher, but the bear more likely. So what it says is you already got close to 382 and 886. It looked like 1 2, this is 3, and some sort of wave 4 is forming, and you have one more push up like this for the wave 5, taking it towards 577 billion. And if that is the case, you are eyeing a move of 10% on the Earth's minimum. So we need to catch this 10 to 12% move, and that's the reason we need to pull back, because this 10 to 12% move is still pending. And I do think that this 886 makes more and more sense, and it's going to be the fake breakout in my opinion for the first time. And what is going to happen is everybody's going to get trapped. It dumps like this, and it just sweep the lows, make a deviation here for the total 2, and once it have a deviation, it accumulates there, reclaim it, and it just goes for a higher highs towards a bigger target for a bigger target. So practically this is more like an accumulation for me, what I personally feel. And then you're gonna have the manipulation, and after that, once you get a manipulation, you can look for a bigger expansion. And that bigger expansion, what I would be eyeing is not only towards the levels of the range highs, but I would be eyeing a bigger expansion towards $1.3 trillion practically for the overall alts. So alts are going to have some very good time. If you look at this deviation, you can see that alts can literally go nuts with 200% move on the total to crypto market cap. So practically this is what we have for the total too. Now right now this plans also perfectly aligns with what we have for the bear scenario for BTC. The total crypto market cap, practically alts market cap, with this harmonic that we have, I mean, I'm pretty much I would just be eyeing for 10% move for the alts overall total crypto market cap excluding BTC. But once we reaches these levels, it will be like a take profits. Now you need just once we reach here, you take profit and maybe look for shorts. Or if you don't want to build shorts and you have made nice gains, just stay out of the game. If it flips this levels, it invalidates this whole harmonic, fine. We re-long again on this flip of range lows, and we ride it toward the range highs deviation, and then it dumps like this. So practically it forms a deviation up here, and then it goes down like here. So this is the two-way scenario that we have. But for now, I think I'm definitely eyeing 10% move on the upside minimum for total crypto market cap excluding BTC. Of course, BTC is also going to have that move on the upside, as we talked about it. Now, this is what we have for on the lower term time frame. So what are we looking for? This is the Bybit chart. On the lower term time frame, what exactly are we looking for is some sort of a very interesting, you can say that the triangle formation is there. I mean, I'm not denying the fact, but this really looks like a triangle to me. Now you have a triangle. Now what it can do is, now many people might say that this is irregular, flat, and blah blah shit, but you see the volume is high and it's clearly ABC, and 5 waves. So something like this makes sense. And now if this triangle is in play, we need to have a breakout, go for a fake out, go towards 21,985, trap everyone. And what it does is it takes all the liquidity down towards the sweep of 20,200 and go towards the levels of 20,000, maybe even 19,700, because you have an OB there. And once it reaches, it does some kind of a movement like this. Afterwards, you can expect some sort of a movement like this, because what it means is the whole move that we have got for BTC is more or less like a wave 1, 2, okay, wave 1, 2, and you got it. This move is 3, 4, and 5. Practically goes towards $23,000. Practically, this is what it says actually. So this is what the lower some time frame plan is. I'm not looking for longs right now. I would be more interested in shorting it. So I wouldn't be longing just for like another 3-4% move, because the risk reward don't make sense. You need to have your stop loss for 3% stop loss just to earn 3 to 4%. Practically it's just 1 hour, so I'm not going to give you long there. But for shorts, I think if you look from the perspective of the shorts, I think 1414 makes more sense to short. Practically the levels would be, where is 1414? Yep, and 138. It's 22,035. So you get this move towards 22,035 to 22,080. You got to short it, and you ride for the liquidity, and you get 8% move, and your stop loss would be above 1618. Practically that would be a stop loss 22,345, meaning that your stop loss would be just around 1.2, max at 1.3%, gives you the best risk reward. And if you look for a full-fledged target of 19,800 to 19,700 for 10% move down, your risk reward would be close to 9R. So this is going to give you the best risk reward shorts for BTC. Again, this can easily invalidate, and it can just keep on pumping like this as well. I'm not, this is a likelihood. as I mentioned, that it can literally go and finish the whole 23,000 first, and then it can dump. But I do think that it's just going to do something like this. It's just going to have a fake breakout, trap everyone, create more liquidity on the downside, and out of nowhere it just takes all the liquidity in a single slingshot. So this is going to be the big liquidity grab, and that's for the first time we're going to test the 19,800 900 breaker in few days. So practically I think this makes more sense to me. So the lowest in time frame, this is what I see for BTC, and perfectly goes with our plan that we have for the BTC as well. One more small push up and dump towards this lows, and after that what you can expect is a move towards $23,000, and this is exactly the dump what we're going to get. That is the dump for taking positions on alts. What else are we eyeing, guys? My alts that I would be eyeing practically would be, first of all, ETH. So this was the long that I gave over the live. I personally thought that this is going to play out. What I personally feel right now is if you're having the long, you should be taking profits, because I do feel that there is a likelihood ETH might slightly go and take the liquidity around 1500, and then it does something like this. There is a possibility, or this is just some sort of a wave one and we don't go under 1523. So 1523 is your invalidation, or if you're taking longs right now, 1523 should be a stop loss, and there's a liquidity pool inside. But I would like to long it when it takes the liquidity like this, and then you get a move on the upside like this. So that is going to be your A, B, C, and 5 waves up. This is what I would like to see on ETH, and that's why I would like to bid ETH around 1500, because you have the breaker. This is where the OB is on the lower some time frame, and your stop losses for this move that you would be eyeing should be under 1421, and yeah, that's a stop loss you should be you're ready to manage. You should DCA from 1500 or 1498 till 1450. That is where you DCA. Your take profit target is 15% on the upside, and your stop loss is just 4%, 4.2%, giving you a very interesting 4-hour setup. Minimum 4-hour is what you're eyeing. So that is for ETH. For comp, I think I'm still eyeing that retest of 46 to 48 levels, and then we can go all in for comp. Dot, I mean 5.5 was the levels I mentioned over the live stream as well. We went close to 5.5, but I do think that we can still get this 5.5. So let's see. If you do happen to get the retest of 5.5, we are longing. In fact, I would give you the long. RSR is still looking good. Solana, this is the plan that we have for Sol. I do think that wave 3 is in. We just need a wave 4 right now. And I do think that we need to get that one more push down, and after that you can expect 26.7 for Sol. But for now, I think you just ignore this small wave up. The risk reward is looking great to short when it goes up rather than long from here. If you do get a liquidity, if it just goes for the liquidity retest, basically taking this liquidity around 21, then you can look to long around 20 to 19.5 with your stops under $18, and your take profit targets would be 26.7 minimum. Cardano, let's talk about Cardano. I was still waiting for the Cardano to retest 33.3. Practically this is the levels you would want to see Cardano doing retest and then go up one more time. I just hope this is not a deviation, because if it just a deviation and it closes under this like this, it keeps on closing the daily under this, you get out of this long, and it's just gonna dump like this again. So Rune, somebody asked me about Rune as well. I do think that Rune is looking very good. You just need a retest. This is the levels we're eyeing for 1.56 levels. So far, I'm just patiently waiting for Rune to come to our target. Yeah, you need this retest. So I'm just going to remove the circles that we have so that we can get the proper drawing. Perfect. So you need a retest of these levels, and because there's a perfect demand that we have. Unless and until it don't retest, I'm not gonna long. Gold, I'm still riding my short. But I do think that, you know, gold is not done, guys. What I personally feel is this whole move was wave 3. Even if you do get a retracement, it's just going to be max around 1844 to 1850, and from there one more push is likely towards 1950 to 1960 dollars. And you know what I might do is I'm going to close my shorts if it goes under my entry of 1880. So I'm just gonna close it then and would re-enter higher, because why? I feel the dollar index, if you look at the structure on the dollar index on 4 hours chart, I personally feel that dollar index is still need to have that move down. But I think it's just gonna do something like this, and then it's gonna go down like this. So dollar index needs to have that small push up, and that's the reason I think that gold is going to have that push up, because dollar index needs to have that one more push down. It is pending. Now similarly, I think these are the alts we have already checked. Few of the alts that we can look for, and there is an opportunity, is fill. Once, because fill is accumulating on the daily inside this resistance, the $5 4.783 resistance is a strong and strong and strong, yet to close any 2 consecutive candles above this. And once it closes, you know, like this, it can form a very interesting bull flag like this and goes up. It's an accumulation, that what I think it's happening right now. And if this is an accumulation, if we do hold the levels of 4.2 over here, we can look for a bounce, pretty much close above, and then go for a full ride. It's gonna be a big impulsive move. So just have your alert set at 2 levels. First is 4.42, that is where you should have your alert. The second one is 4.8, you know, 4.84, that is where you should be having an alert. But something you should have, because you look at the volume is continuously going up and up and up. So practically this, it also tells us that, you know, something is happening with the you know, what do you say, with the fill. Its accumulation is happening. Now let's look at one of the alt that I personally like. It is LRC. So nobody's talking about this coin, which is almost looks to me like a dead. But just look at how LRC looks like on the daily. Well, if you look at this coin, it's just been retesting the resistance that we have here. And the good part about this is it did not sweep the lows, where every other coins did. So it's just holding it pretty much well. So I'm just going to keep it like this. And you know, very important part about the LRC is, what I personally feel is that you got a very interesting, you know, 5 waves move down. Practically, it's a big falling wedge. But if you look at from this perspective, it's a 1, 2, and this was your, you know, some sort of a wave 3 here, 4 and 5. Meaning that LRC is doing very great in my aspect, and we just have a big breakout. Practically, you know, from the lows, it already pumped almost close to you say 62%, maybe 163%. So what I think for LRC is, if you do get a closure above this white line that we have, you already got one candle closure. If this daily today, if it closes above the levels of, you know, 27.3, if you are closing above this, I think we should be looking for some position in LRC, because I think if it breaks like this, it's just going to go very wild, because the next target is going to be 65, and can even do something like this. Very unpredictable pump might just happen, because I think LRC is more and more looks to me like Zilliqa. So practically there is a possibility that LRC might just completely go for a full liquidity hunt towards 886 Fibonacci levels. Yep, that's what you have heard right. Hold on. Let us just have it the fibs line properly. 886, perfect. And we can just put it like 0.9 as well. That is your uppercase. Perfect. So practically, I think LRC can literally go for a very insane pump. You need to manage your risk. It can go for 1000% pump, and what it does is it goes up like this, 1000% pump out of nowhere, because you have a bullish wolf waves. Now this bullish wolf waves have something to do with the bottom. Even if it is a temporary bottom, it just does something like this, and it can do something like this. So LRC. Now look at the Zilliqa as well. I think the reason for me comparing this LRC is pretty much because these kind of a bullish wolf waves, when you have it, you have it like 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then you have these kind of a bullish wolf waves. It's a pretty much, and you have a breakout like this. You have a breakout. Now remember, Zilliqa did had a breakout for the first time, and what it did, it just went lower lows for the second time, and then it just accumulated, and out of nowhere it just pumped. So LRC can even do something like this, but something I would say that must an accumulation. Now it can do something like this, as what we just saw on what we saw for Zilliqa. So what we saw for Zilliqa is it can just have a fake breakout like this, and have one more move down, take the liquidity, and then it goes up like this. It's a possibility. I'm not denying the fact that it's not possible, but yes, it's a possibility. So what we need to understand is we need to, if you look at the spot, we need to wait for it to flip 30 cents. Once this 30 cents 30.3 cents flips, we long, or if it closes daily above the levels of 27.5, we go long, and with our stop losses under 26.2. It's a very hard stop loss. It's a very high risk trade, very high risk, and it's gonna be like a swing. So even if you're longing here, it's gonna be very high risk trade, guys. Very much. The risk is very high. 26 cents is what you're going to put your 26 cents is where you should be putting your stop loss. Yeah, perfect. And your take profit target should be minimum this levels of 65 cents, and this is what you should be eyeing for LRC. Now, like Zilliqa, we don't have any sort of a harmonic here. That's the only negative point that we have for LRC. So Zilliqa did had M pattern formation, and this move down, it was in 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, a bullish wolf wave. So you have double confirmation for Zilliqa that it has some sort of a big move. But for LRC, you only have a bullish wolf waves. You don't have M pattern formation, not even a lower term time frame. But yeah, something you should be keeping in mind for LRC. RSR perfectly looks like Zilliqa. Why? Because it has M pattern formation, and the second leg is also looks to me like 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So it's, I just wanted to do an accumulation and then it goes up like this. Would makes more sense, unless it goes for one more leg down. This is like a fake out distribution, one more leg down. So that's the reason I'm just going to keep on accumulating spots on on RSR. Even if it goes down 60%, I don't care, because I do think even if it goes down, it's just going to recover it very quickly because of the bullish wolf waves that we have. So LRC is something you should definitely be watching, and I'm also watching. I have alerts set for LRC. Let's see how it triggers. Flip above 30 cents, 30 point, the blue line that we have, 30.3. You close daily above, we long, or close this daily above 27. What was the number? 27.4. We close this daily above 27.4 today. We will be taking some positions tomorrow with a very tight stop loss, guys, for LRC. Polkadot I already mentioned. So total 2 is something you should be watching. This is the chart that we have. The invalidation levels are clear. Total also, I'm looking for some sort of a pullback at least, so that we can get along towards $1 trillion. Total DeFi is having a big sort of a M pattern, but the M pattern is not complete so far. 886 is what it needs to do. Even if, let's say, we expected this move to come to go towards 618, it's just that when we went here, I was expecting it to give a retest, and it don't give a retest. It just keeps on pumping back up. That's fine. So now I don't expect DeFi, because DeFi is at a resistance right now. We are golden pocket zone and 786, the bigger 786 that we have. We can look for some pullback and can do something like this on the DeFi. I can even go for a retest like this, and then it goes up like this. So there is a possibility. This will be A, B, and C. Now this dump can happen even after taking this liquidity here as well. So it just keeps on pumping, take the liquidity, and 3-tap setup, perfect 3-tap, and then it goes up like this. It's a possibility, guys. The total DeFi 3-tap looks very identical to me with what we have for the total crypto market cap. So total crypto market cap can also go for a 3-tap setup like this, and total 3 is looking very similar. There is no change. Total 2 only looks pretty much bearish. Why? Because it did not sweep the lows. So practically alts are going to have some tough times, guys, for in the next dump. They are going to have some tough times. So you should not be having your bags in alts. You should be having bags in BTC. And when we literally top out, you should be having more and more BTC and USDT is what I would recommend, unless it flips the levels of range lows of $614 billion. Pretty much I think this is summing up everything. AVAX, the plan is still same. If you remember, the next long, and I'm going to show it with invalidation above 20.05. Very tight invalidation, but the risk reward, it makes more and more sense for me to short AVAX. The target would be anywhere under $10, can go to even 8, 7, I don't know, but it's just going to be in the price discovery for on the downside. So that's what we can look for on AVAX. That's all. And let's also have a look on some of the others that people would want to know is Kava. So Kava, guys, I am yet to chart. I think, yeah, I don't have a chart, but what I have is the short was perfect. It was a nice short. It would have definitely made a nice gains because it was a perfect descending triangle, and this descending triangle played very nicely. You got a C wave here. It was a perfect line to short as well. Got a golden pocket zone. Now it's very much way under your range scenarios. Now what you are getting is for Kava, I think Kava is going to most likely take the liquidity. Practically, these are some liquidity that Kava is going to target. You see, so it's gonna go above these levels. It just pumped like almost close to 100%. It did almost close to 100%, and I would like to see Kava doing something like this. So practically forms a very interesting, inverse head and shoulder, and go up like this and literally do something like this would be great for Kava. So let's see. But if you really are bullish here, you should be careful because we are going to just be doing SFP. Yeah, you can get 4 to 5% move, maybe even 6% move, which is something likely on the Kava part. On the daily, look at the daily. The RSI is too overextended, and you see the RSI is too overextended, and the normalized MACD is having a bearish cross, meaning the momentum is reducing. People are selling or floating here on this impulsive move. And if you look at the stochastic, is also triggering that it's going into the big sell-off territory right now. It is not topped yet. It still has some move on the upside on the daily. So it's gonna take the liquidity on the upside. Another 6 to 8% move is pending for the Kava. If you're looking for scalp on Kava on the lower term time frame, then you should be watching something like this. What I would say is because to me it looks like a very interesting diagonal actually. We have 1 2 3 4 5, and you have 2, and then you have 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2. That is a 1 2. Yeah, that's not a diagonal actually. That's clearly not a diagonal. It's not, it does not make sense actually over here. Oh, I think Kava is gonna pump up. Now the range that you need to understand over here is, this is the range that we have. Okay. Yeah. Now till we don't close under, it's not a short. Above, we close this H4 above like this, 2 consecutive H4 above, it's bull. Why? Because you have a OB. This was the bear OB, and if this bear OB can turn into bullish, it's definitely a good sign. So practically you have 1 2 3 4, you get a one more impulsive move for the wave 5, you get a 5 waves up on the lower term time frame, that's not lower term but mid-term time frame, H4, you get a 5 waves, you get one more impulsive move towards close to 98 cents, and there you can get some sort of a relief, you know, and maybe retracements. And this is how you should play on the lower term time frame for Kava. That's how you should play. That's what I think it is going to do, because just look at the 2 hours or maybe 3 hours chart would tell you everything. Yeah, perfect. The 2 hours chart also looks to me like 5 wave structure, and it pretty much tells me, because this volume highs tells us that this is your wave 3 clearly. So that is your wave 1 2 and 3 4. You're going to have that one more push up like this for the wave 5. Now if you really want to scalp, if you get a retest of 91.85 or maybe 92 cents, you long it and you ride it for 4 to 5% move on the upside. Your stop should be under 90 cents. Practically gives you 2.5 hour setup. Not pretty much bad actually. You should be eyeing at least close to 1414 and 138. Yeah, that is where you should eye. Minimum 6% move from these levels, and max it can go would be around $1.99. It's a psychological resistance. So yeah, 7.88%. That's what you should eye for Kava. Your invalidation levels are tight. That is where your invalidation under the bullish OB, and that's how you should play, ladies and gentlemen, unless this is not 5 waves and this is A, B, C. So this is your top. It's a some sort of a trap. It breaks under this again, go back inside, you close your longs, and it's just gonna do something like this. That's how it's gonna play then. Instead it goes up. If it turns out that this move is not 1 2 3 4 5, it's ABC, then it's gonna go down. The confirmation for that, if this is ABC, is going to be that we close under the range highs, practically this range highs. But once it starts closing under this, you can close your longs and flip to shorts. You need a closure, H4 closure. Okay, that's what you need. Now let's also look for one more alt that is Aptos. Aptos on the 2 hour is not looking that bad actually. But if you look at the Aptos on the daily, because normally first you start with the daily. The daily looks to me like a very interesting cipher. It's just my first, this is the first look of how I feel about Aptos. 886. Normally it goes for the 786, but you can have the 886. That's fine. So practically this is the look you know, the feel I get after watching Aptos on the daily. And if you look at the daily, the RSI is too overbought for the first time. I've never seen RSI goes towards 84, 85. too much overbought. Or normalized MACD, there is some distribution happening here, guys. Be careful. Someone is dumping on you over here continuously, offloading their bags. Oh my god, stochastic is on the daily is too much overbought. You should be clearly stay away if you're longing. Even if it just goes one more push up, it's for offloading and having the short positions, because you have a bear OB here, and that's the bear OB someone is going to defend. Unless this bear OB flips this as a support and does something like this, is a different story. But what I feel is something like this. Just give me a moment, guys. I'm getting an important call. Yeah, guys, sorry, actually I got some important call actually. So this is what we have for Aptos, and this is what I think this is the very interesting levels for Aptos, guys. Unless it flips this OB as a support on the daily, You don't look for longs. Now you might feel that we still have some longs on the upside. Yeah, there is a probability that you can still get 10 to 12% move because you need to form a bad diversion. So the price makes higher highs, and RSI don't make higher highs. But for that, what you need to understand is it needs to do something like this. It goes down like this, and there you get a bad diversion on the daily, and then it starts reversing. So practically what it might does on the daily is, along with the RSI, we might just get some retest. And I think the retest for this whole structure is the OB, that the earlier OB that we had. Practically these is the levels, on the daily. Even if you look at from the H4 perspective, I think the liquidity makes more sense. So you have the liquidity. Now what you need to do understand is, if you get a move on the downside, I think the RSI is wants to make some sort of a bad diversion. It needs to take this liquidity over here, and then it just goes up one more time, make higher highs, makes it like 1 2 3 A B C 4 5, and this is how it ends the whole move. And then we start reversing in the sense, not necessarily we go towards zero. No, it can simply go for a liquidity of this levels and here, and then bounces. So this is where it can bottom for the wave 2 as well. But for now, I think I would say just stay away from Aptos. You can long it if you really want to play scalps along with the BTC. As I mentioned, I expect BTC to have one more push up. You can long for like small on the upside for 10-11% move. But remember, your downside, your stop loss would be around 6 to 7%. So the risk reward don't make sense unless you're just scalping actually. So guys, well, this is what I have for now, and thank you so much for joining. And well, we will be joining a live stream again on the Discord now, not on the YouTube. So we will have a live stream in the New York session, and I'm just waiting for the dip so that I can give you limits to long. Yeah, Bybit is really good and safe actually. Yeah, sure. I'm just going to check the DM. Bullish wolf waves on the daily. No, that's not a bullish wolf waves actually. That's not at all bullish wolf waves. Bullish wolf waves. So you need to understand, bullish wolf waves have to have, or needs to be something like this. It's just going to dump 618, 1 to 72, or 1618, 618, 1 to 72, and 1618. That's exactly how the bullish wolf, the perfect bullish wolf waves is. What you just sent to me is you got the second move here, but you never got this move on the downside. That's not the perfect bullish wolf waves for BTC on the daily. You see, I was expecting a bullish wolf waves to form, and that would mean that BTC needs to have that one more whip down like this, and that would have formed a perfect bullish wolf wave. So what it did is it just bounced from these levels, so yeah, I think that's not a bullish wolf waves at all. Well, thank you. Yeah, Bybit, if you would like to support, do trade on Bybit, guys. Thank you so much. And we're just going to check ES in the evening, guys. I'm waiting a little bit more data on ES, but overall my plan for the ES is also same. I think we have discussed it on 15th, day before yesterday. But if you just want to look at it mini, so we have SPX. What I feel is most likely ES is gonna do a double top kind of a pattern. Practically what I personally feel is ES can do something like this because it's a perfect golden pocket zone bounce, and we are most likely looking towards towards 4094, and I'm expecting it to go and form a very interesting 1414 towards 3200, and that should give us a very interesting opportunity. Now people are going to long over here as well in anticipation it's going to bounce for 3583. Yeah, I don't deny that this is not a valid harmonic, so you can still eye for a 12% move on the downside. And if we do lose this white line that we have around 886 fib of 3583, this shit is gonna go to my target of 3200. That's where I'm going to buy big and investing big on, you know, stock markets. Practically I'm gonna buy everything once we sweep this lows. That's what my target is, and that's exactly the levels where the pre-COVID crash happened here, and that's exactly we're going to go under that pre-COVID crash. We're going to test some important support actually. So I expect something like this for ES. Invalidation levels are very interesting. 4170 is your invalidation levels for this short, and if you do flip that 4170, ES is then going to fly, because then it would mean that this was just wave 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. It's gonna go and it's just gonna fly actually, and then it would mean that it's just the buy the dip season for everything. The bottom is in for the overall stock market. That would mean some sort of something like this. But for now, this is what my plan for the ES is. Thank you guys, and have a nice day. Bye bye.